Let's say you're a mathematician and you spend your days multiplying numbers together. But not any number. You have this particular obsession of multiplying the same number to itself over and over, such as 10 times 10 times 10, which is equal to 100, or 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is equal to 1000. After a while of doing this, you get tired of writing the same numbers over and over, and because you're a good mathematician, which means you're lazy and creative, you come up with a scheme so that you don't have to write so much. If you're multiplying three tens together, you decide to just write 10 once, then raise the number of times you want to multiply 10 together in the upper right hand corner of the 10. You ponder this a bit and decide the system will be really powerful. And playing on this, you decide to say that 10 times 10 times 10 becomes 10 to the power of 3. These are equivalent, and again we're lazy, so rather than writing equivalent, we just write 10 times 10 times 10 equals 10 to the power of 3. After a while of playing around with this notion, we decide it can be generalized in the following way. b to the power of n is equal to b1 times b2 times b3, and so on until we get to b to the power of n. And because we love math so much and we want to talk about our new notation with our math friends, we come up with clever names and decide that in b to the power of n, b will be called the base and n will be called the exponent. So we continue playing with our exponents and bases and find a sticky situation comes up. What if our exponent is 0? Well, if our base is 0, this is easy because we know 0 times anything is 0. So 0 to the power of 3 is equal to 0 times 0 times 0, which is equal to 0. But what about 10 to the 0? Well, this is 0 tens. But should we say this is 0? What if we do the following? 10 to the power of 3 times 10 to the power of 0. Isn't this just 3 tens multiplied by 0 tens? Or 10 times 10 times 10? And 0 more tens? If we decide that 10 to the 0 is 0, then 10 times 10 times 10 times 0 is 0, not 100. It would probably be better to say that 10 to the power of 0 is 1, then 10 times 10 times 10 times 1 is 100. And indeed, there is a rule that goes something like b to the power n times b to the power m is equal to b to the power of n plus m. And if we generalize that b to the power of 0 is 1, where b is any number, then what about 0 to the power of 0? Should this be 1? 0 times anything is 0. We'll leave this as an open question, since it is beyond the scope of this class. So, exponents are essentially a shorthand notation for multiplying the same number together over and over in succession, and you should not be intimidated by them.